Right, good morning to all our viewers. We are, of course, tracking the BRICS summit, which is underway in Xiamen. And right now, it is President Xi Jinping of China who's addressing this summit. Let's dip in and listen to what President Xi is saying.
Warm response from the international community. In May this year, China hosted a successful Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation. Together with the participating countries and international organizations, we outlined a vision of future cooperation under the Belt and Road Initiative and proposed concrete measures to support countries along the Belt and Road in pursuing sustainable development. It was widely agreed that the philosophy and vision of the Belt and Road Initiative and its focus on policy, infrastructure, trade, financial, and people-to-people connectivity have much in common with the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, and the two can very well complement and reinforce each other. The Belt and Road is as much a path of cooperation as one of hope and mutual benefit. As a follow-up to the outcomes of the Belt and Road Forum, China will develop cooperation with the interested countries in infrastructure connectivity, production capacity, technological innovation, and other fields. A Chinese writer over 200 years ago once observed, "Is there anything too hard in the world? With determined efforts, a hard task becomes easy. Otherwise, an easy job may become difficult." Emerging market and developing countries represent the future of world development. It is our duty to promote international cooperation on development and implement the Sustainable Development Agenda. Let us work together to blaze a new path to development that is fair, open, comprehensive, and innovative.
So that was President Xi Jinping talking at the BRICS summit there, speaking about the possibilities of greater cooperation in terms of trade and business. This, of course, is essentially what was termed as a business talking point. But now the focus is being said not just in terms of a talking club. BRICS is more something that should focus on becoming a grouping that focuses on action and not just in terms of talks. And also my colleague Ramesh Ramachandran, who's tracking all the details from Xiamen, continues to be with us. Over to you, Ramesh. I'm told that you have a guest with you.
Thank you, Mohammed. Yes, indeed. I'm now joined by OK Lin, a young journalist from the China Radio International, and I'll go straight to him to ask for his views on the ongoing 9th BRICS summit here in Xiamen. Good morning, OK Lin. Thank you for speaking to WION. May I begin by asking you about how you see the 9th BRICS summit progressing over the last 3 days now?
I'm very looking forward to this summit. India, as a very big country, has very colorful culture. We are neighborhoods, so I think we should be friends. During the summit, I think we should talking something very important things for us relationship for the future. I think. Maybe we should be very close and we can looking forward to a beautiful future.
It's interesting you should mention that both India and China are neighbors, but we've seen that there are, as in any relationship, there are always problems. And we've seen that in the case of India-China as well. Now, what can India and China together do to resolve those differences so that the relationship gets better going forward?
I think maybe people's relationship are more important than anything. So we should learning more about other countries, and we can have something meeting about the teenagers or something very interesting things for each other.
And we've seen that both Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India and President Xi Jinping of China have already met 3 times this year in 2017. The first bilateral meeting happened in Astana, Kazakhstan, on the margins of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and then they met informally on the margins of the G20 summit at Hamburg in Germany. And today they'll meet for the 3rd time this year. So ahead of their bilateral meeting here in Xiamen, what are your expectations as the Chinese journalist covering the BRICS summit? Your expectations from that key meeting between Prime Minister Modi of India and President Xi of China?
I'm very sorry, I'm not very clear about the meeting's things. So I thought it's a very important summit, but we are looking forward to something about the summarize about something President Xi Jinping and Modi's talking about the relationship of each country. So maybe we will have a very how to say, well, I'm looking forward to it.
Great. Thank you so much for speaking to me and appreciate it. So there you heard it, a young Chinese journalist working for China Radio International, OK Lin, is talking about more cultural connect among all the 5 BRICS countries, especially more people-to-people ties between India and China. And his comments come just hours before the much-anticipated bilateral meeting on the margins of the BRICS summit here in Xiamen between Prime Minister Modi and President Xi of China.